I think Tony Kushner would be very, yeah, so you guys know him. So Tony Kushner, who is a playwright and who wrote Angels in America, which I love. I think that I'd want to, like, I don't necessarily think that I'd be super interested in what, like, he does, like, as a person. It seems really mean, but, like, I think I'd be interested to see how he created something that has been so enduring, but that's so emotional, and that's so kind of, it's weird to think of a work as, like, vulnerable, but I think it kind of is. And, because, for Angels in America, just kind of to say a little bit, I think that, it talks about the AIDS crisis. It follows a bunch of people, some of whom are, it follows also the rise of Reagan, and kind of talks from these different perspectives of people. So, like, one guy who, he's, like, gay, and he's, like, having a fine life, and he has HIV and AIDS, his boyfriend who leaves him, this guy who works for Roy Khan, I think, and who's, like, very, like, anti-gay, but, like, also, like, is gay and closeted, all these sort of different people who, who basically represent the era of the HIV/AIDS epidemic in the 80s, and, who he's using to kind of speak through to generations. And I think that I'd really want to know how he kind of took his experiences and other people's experiences of what I can only imagine to be, like, people have described it as, like, it was terrible, like, just devastating. I mean, I cannot even imagine at all. And I'd want to ask him how he or I'd want to know, because I would be him, I guess, how he kind of took all that pain and all that unknowing and kind of this big thing that was bigger than himself, that, like, no one knew what the heck was happening. People were just dying. And this is what I've heard from people. How he took this thing that, like, how do you even live through that? And how he created something not just that spoke to that, but that has kind of been able to almost move us forward. How he did that, and how he kind of, essentially how he managed to take something so terrible and make something so uplifting, or not uplifting, but something so powerful. Because I think that's, like, a really big thing in general. Like, how do we take the stuff that we're, like, that is hurting us, or that, like, we're suffering from, that we're dealing with, and how do we not just let it, like, destruct us, or, like, how do we not, like, fall into, like, I can't do anything, I'm just going to be depressed, or I'm just going to be miserable, and how do we take that and make it into our power, make it into a better future. I think that's, like, that's the moral of the story. That's something I'm interested in. So I'd like to know how he did it, or how he tried.